I'm back so soon. Very cool. Very cool. This might, no promises, but this is probably going to be my last stream before I finally get internet installed in my apartment. So that'll be super duper handy to be able to do that. How is there an anonymous person on my sheet? That doesn't make sense. I've not shared this, or at least I don't think I have. That's concerning. Does the... I wonder if the link reveals it. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Let me get out my tabs correctly, make sure I've got everything properly organized for today's stream. It might be a long one, it might be a short one. I can't say for certain, but we'll just see where it goes. So what I want to do today is I've got my chord spreadsheet here. It's not finished, but I've got this handy dandy little checklist, and so I'm going to run through these cores and implement them with a checklist so that I don't have an embarrassing situation where I release the game and there are some cores that just don't have any effect at all because I didn't test, which I believe is actually the case for some cores in Thousand Year Door, or some badges in the Thousand Year Door. I think there are some that are bugged and don't work as intended. So yeah, we're gonna avoid that fate. First things first, we're going to have to make an enum for we're gonna have to make an enum for all of the core names on here because right now this runs on a magic number system, and that's not reliable. We can't have a magic number system because that's not safe. It's going to cause us a lot of problems in the long term. So what we're going to do is we're going to do enum, and we're just going to make an enumeration of all the cores that we have in this list here. So we're just going to list out. So the way that these enumerations work, you just list out everything, and then whenever these are done, offensive power amplifier, this is just going to translate to the number 0. And then the thing that I put in here is going to translate to the number 1, and so on. So it just makes it easier to get the proper IDs for all of these. Backup battery ID. Look into plating ID. And you can have these run multiple lines, so it's okay to do that to make things more readable. So I just did nanomachine, so then... Is it diverter? Is that what I called this? Yeah, it's diverter. This is a bit of housekeeping, a little bit annoying to do, but it's going to make things better long term. Removal kit ID. What else do I need? Energy siphon ID. Gigapixel optics ID. Harder battles ID. Machine database ID. Magnetron ID. Matter Annihilator ID. Database ID. precise circuitry ID, pulse laser ID, Scrapper's cool toolkit ID, and then lastly, minimalist architecture ID. So yeah, all of these are going to be the core IDs, and so this is just going to be nice and handy for accessing core IDs without having to like look at a lookup table without having to look things up, because that sort of, if I have to stop to like find the ID number of every single core in this game, it's going to take me years to actually implement them, and they're going to have a bunch of bugs when I finally do. So by doing this, we ensure that things are just a bit better. So next step here, let me pull up my checklist on my other monitor. It's at times like this, it actually seems practical to own 3. There we go. Okay. So offensive power amplifier, that's not really relevant here because that modifies base stats, so that one is done. Actually, I can pull it up so you guys can see it. Yeah, let's do it that way. So offensive power amplifier, I believe, is already implemented, because if we go to the inventory node, let's close out of some stuff that we don't need. We'll need that. So if we go to inventory and we pop open offensive power amplifier, you can see that it already does what it's supposed to do. And I believe same goes for defensive power amplifier. So we can tick that off the box. We can tick that box as well. So let me pull that up. Oh my, this is going to be a mess, isn't it? Large capacitor and small capacitor, we can't really implement those yet. Magnetron is a little bit of a mess, but we can implement it. No, we can't. Okay, so that's something to add to the agenda maybe today. We need an energy restore animation, and we need a health restore animation. So we can put that on the docket, but until then we can't do anything with that. I believe backup battery is already fully implemented. Same applies to thickened plating. I believe that's already fully implemented. This is an ability unlock, so we need to wait on that. This is an ability unlock, so we need to wait on it. This is an ability unlock, so we need to wait on it. What else do we have? Adaptive control unit. This one sets all status immunities to 100%. Okay. Yeah, okay, I've got an idea for this one. We're going to make an array of status flags, I guess. So var status flags equals, and then it's going to be a nested array. Like so. And then we're just going to start with 3 for now. So then we've got this status flags thing, and we're gonna need an enumeration for like status effect IDs. Oh yeah, I just realized I've not properly shared my stream in the server. I should probably do that. Let me go ahead and do that. Share, copy link, and then let me put that in the proper announcements. There we go. Robit Dev stream, Battle Edition. It has already been 20 minutes of me streaming. That does not seem accurate, but okay. Cool enough. Cool beans. Alright, we're back to it. So this enumeration right here is battle states, and this enumeration right here is going to be, whoop, not that symbol. So this is going to be status effect IDs. And we're going to have, you know, some pretty, pretty lame stuff. So like burn is the obvious one. These wouldn't be status flags. We wouldn't want to store we wouldn't want to store statuses in flags because that's icky and cringe. Yeah, so status effects, we're going to need to store those not as flags but as numbers, which is fine. We just don't call this status flags. We'll just we'll do status durations. And so yeah, that makes sense. So with these status durations, every time we run the run turn step of the battle system, we're going to apply the effects of all of these statuses, and after we apply the effects of all of the statuses, then we tick them all down once. If you are immune to statuses, then they're immediately set to 0 before having effect. If that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Yeah. Hello, Lemon Bread. How's it going? I'm doing a little bit of thinky think. A little bit of thinky think. Today's stream, Mr. Bread, is focused on implementing some of the cores into the battle system, because a lot of those are intertwined deeply with like the fundamentals of how the control logic goes, and so we don't actually need to implement any attacks before we properly implement a lot of the cores. So anyway, right now I'm adding basic status effects. I'm just going to start with 3. I can add more later. We're just going to call it burn, glitched, and I'm thinking. Because burn is going to be an important one. Waterlogged, water damaged. That might be something that I need to do. Yeah, I'll just call that wet. We'll just have those 3 status effects for now. I'm not going to actually make the status effects do anything yet, but I need to go to my run turn code. So run turn logic, and let's see. Ally turns remaining equals 1. Okay, so this sets all of the turns and bonus turns. That's fine. I think I should define a separate function for this just to keep things smaller. So we can do func. I'm thinking status effects, or apply status effects. So func apply status effects, and then so for I in range 0, 3, so this is going to be for all of the main characters, if global save data dot cores equipped cores of I of, because we're doing a double array here, inventory dot, because I believe we had a core that made you immune to status effects. What was it called? Adaptive control unit. Is greater than 0. And then we're going to do status. And then we're going to do a nested loop here. So zero status durations dot size. And then, oh wait, we can't use I twice. We have to use j. So status of I of j equals 0. So I believe this is, nope, it's status durations. And this needs to be status durations of I dot size. Okay, so what this code should do here, when do I get to see if it works? That is a good question. That will be much later, actually. That's why this isn't necessarily the fun part of making Planar Robit, because I have to build a lot of fundamental systems before I get to actually make fun, attacks and abilities and watch things move. Right now I'm just making sure that I'm building the fundamentals of the calculations and all of that so that I know that things will move smoothly when it is time to move smoothly. So now we have this set up where if you have if a character has adaptive control unit equipped, then the status effect is cleared at the start of the turn. And then next we're just gonna leave a comment here. Speedrun exploits. Maybe you could exploit this system. I hope I can make it relatively watertight. So then right here we're just going to leave a comment for later that says apply buffs and debuffs. And then immediately after that we're going to do another for loop. So for j in range 0, status durations of I dot size, and then status durations of I of j dot minus equals 1. That should be it. Yep. And so you might notice that we have 2 of the same for loop here, and you might be tempted to refactor the code so that these are the same loop, but you really can't do that because we need to apply the buffs and debuffs in between. Well, yeah, I guess you could. Never mind. I'm going to refactor and do it that way. Yeah, we can do it this way. And we're actually not going to do status durations minus equals 1. We're going to do status durations equals, what is it, max between 0 and I of j minus 1. I think that makes sense. So yeah, we're going to tick status durations down, but if 0 is bigger than what we're ticking down to, then we're going to make it 0 instead. And that way, um, status duration will exclusively tick down in a way that makes sense, I think. Because if it goes negative, then like say it's been like 3 turns and like your poison duration is now -3 turns, for example, there's not going to be poison in Planar Road, but I'm just saying as an example. And then say an enemy hits you with an attack that gives you poison for 2 turns. Oh well, your counter is at -1 now instead, so it just doesn't apply at all. So that doesn't make sense. We're not going to do it that way. So we're going to have that minimum value of 0. And then, yep, we're just going to have this line of code for later for applying buffs and debuffs. Ooh, you know what would be more interesting? What if instead of making it so that this core makes you immune to attacks, what if it just makes it so that debuffs tick down twice as fast? Nah, that wouldn't, it would be bad. No, that would make it not very useful. Yeah, that wouldn't be useful. It especially wouldn't warrant a cost of 3. So yeah, I'll leave it as is. Oh, here's one. Gigapixel optics. Improved perception allows wider margin of error when blocking. That's an easy one to implement right now. How long do I plan to stream today? That is a good question. I don't know. I'm pretty cozy. I don't think I have a reason to go into town today. I suppose it really depends on how motivated I feel today, and I feel like I think it'll be a couple hours at a minimum. So, right, so I was going to upgrade block. We actually have a block duration. We have a block time here. Let me add super block time. Because we need a super block mechanic. That's more fun. So super block time, and where do we set block time? There's no space in that. So where we tick down block time, we're also going to do the same for super block time. We're just going to keep these synchronized with each other. Yep. So we've got the block time, which is 20 frames here. And we're just going to arbitrarily call this one, I don't know, 5 frames. I don't know if that's generous or not. It'll take play testing, but getting the mechanics out there and then tweaking them later is a lot easier than deciding that I need the mechanics later on. So block time, super block time. If block time of target is greater than 0. Okay, so we're actually going to do another one here. If super block time of target is greater than 0. And then we're going to turn this into an else if. Actually, no. We're not going to turn this into an else if. Yeah. We're going to make it so that if super block procs normal block will almost normal block will proc immediately after. So that way, if we want to upgrade super block, we put the stuff in here, and it applies to both block and it applies to only super blocks. And if you want to upgrade basic blocks, then you put that in here, and anytime you upgrade a basic block, it also upgrades a super block, because that makes sense. Why would you upgrade a block and then you accidentally super block, but somehow super blocking is worse than normal blocking now? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to, if it's a super block, it's also a block. I think that makes sense. So we can leave this block cooldown here. We don't need to tie that into the super block time. So yeah. I hope it's very customizable. Yeah, I'm trying to leave good breadcrumbs for myself for later on so that whenever I come back and I have new cores or whatever, I can just Control F and search, Superblock or whatever, and I can find these comments that tell me where I can add the effects. Speaking of adding the effects, gigapixel optics needs to increase block time by a certain amount and super block time by a certain amount. So let me go ahead and find that. Am I streaming the right tab? I am. Okay, yeah, I'm good. So let's find where we apply block time and super block time. So we apply them here. So we're gonna do. I can. Actually, I'll leave that comment anyway. So block time equals 20 plus. That would be global save data dot equipped cores of player I of inventory dot I don't know why it's not IntelliSense isn't grabbing it, because this is here, right? Isn't it? Gigapixel optics ID. Yeah, it should work. Inventory.gigapixel optics ID. Times 1, I believe, was how I... Or no. This has got to be times 2. And it's the same one, but times 1. So I'm thinking... Again, this can be tweaked later on. I don't know if this is too strong or too weak, but Gigapixel Optics is a core that costs 1 badge point, and it makes it so that your block time is 2 frames bigger and your super block time is 1 frame bigger. Which, 2 frames, 1 frame, that doesn't sound like a lot, but you put 5 of these on there, your super block time window is twice as wide, and you'd have to be pretty bad at the game to miss a super block at that point. So, you can stack it up and it can be pretty strong. Although I think a lot of players would sleep on it, but I think it would be good, especially for learning timings on enemies that you haven't fought before. Anyway, I'm not actually sure if this line will run correctly. Because IntelliSense isn't grabbing, inventory.gigapixel optics ID. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. I'm not sure why it's not able to find that. Here. Let me go back to Battle Manager. Let me try something else real quick to see if IntelliSense will work with me there. So inventory dot, because there should be like a lot of IDs here that IntelliSense is just not able to find for some reason. Yeah, it's not able to find. Ooh, wait a minute, I got an idea. Maybe I forgot to save. If I save, it is not happy. What are you not happy with? Oh, you're not happy with this. Okay. Now will it be able to find the names? No. Oh no, it is. It is perfect. Okay, IntelliSense is working now. IntelliSense was not happy because I didn't save. I didn't save the new enum. So let me make sure I got this right. Yep, okay, so IntelliSense is telling me that's correct, so we're good. So this is basically what it looks like when you're trying to access equipped cores. So it's going to be, global save data of equipped cores of I, which is the player number, followed by the badge ID. So it's a 2-dimensional array. It's like a grid. IntelliSense is like, I think it's short for like intelligent sense. It's when you're writing code and the the software that you're writing in guesses what you're trying to write. So like, IntelliSense, for example, if I typed assess, IntelliSense is guessing that I can write assess state. And IntelliSense, when you're programming, is your best friend because it's extremely easy to make really tiny typos, and IntelliSense 90% of the time will show you every single valid thing that you can put there. So it'll let you know usually if you've made a typo. So learning how to read IntelliSense and learning how to use it to your fullest advantage is super duper useful for large coding projects where you have lots of variable names and you don't want to get things mixed up. Anyway, let's see what else we have here. Precise circuitry. Base attack +1. Failed attacks deal 0 damage. We can't really do anything about that yet. That's an ability. I believe these are already implemented. Let's see. Harder battles, we can't implement that one because that's an enemy thing. That's an ability. Let's see. Matter Annihilator. This one is an ability thing. Sorry, I should show this off. Alright, see you in a bit. Energy Siphon and Scrapper's Toolkit. These are post-battle upgrades. Rainbow Tail, that's also post-data, or post-battle. This one's pre-battle. Energy Shield Lens. Super blocks provide 2 more defense. I think providing 2 more is a lot. Normal blocks are no longer possible. Oh, never mind. No, that is fun. That's actually really fun. I do like that one a lot. Yeah, so we go to inventory. And then I need to add a core prototype. And we're going to call this one Energy Shield Lens. And we're going to extend the script. Yes, that's fine. Yep, so we're going to extend the script by doing that for Energy Shield Lens. And what is the description? Stats description. Is that too long? No, that's not too long at all. So super block. Super block defense +1. So if I were to run this, go to the core database. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's fine actually. I can leave it as is. Cost for this one is going to be 1. Risk category is risky. Equippy is any. Core name needs to be energy shield lens. Let me look at this core prototype.gd. Oh no. Can I not extend the script? Oh, that's why. Extend the script. Energy shield lens. Create. Then I can go back to this one and leave it like that. Okay. Wait a minute. Did I just break everything? I might have broken everything. No, apparently not. I guess the scripts didn't do anything. I guess it was the node itself. Yeah, the node itself is fine. So I've got, what is this? Var core image. I can't do this. I can't do this load core image. I can't load that because that's a memory leak, isn't it? That's a memory problem. Oh wait, I missed your chat messages. Sorry, I had other stuff in my other monitor. But yeah, okay. So we got this problem going on here. All these cores are loading their core image files, and that is no good. I actually need to change that because the inventory is going to be carrying around a lot of images, like a ton of images, to the point where it's going to break everything. So basically, we're gonna change how we do the whole core image file. Yep. So when we get a crash here, so then we're not gonna do this whole core image file. We're gonna do core image, and we're going to just load it. Does that work? Yep, okay. So the nice thing about that, so I also need to change it here. So instead of core image file, we're just going to load core image. Sorry, I'm a little off the beaten trail. This isn't really the battle system anymore, but I need to do it this way. Okay, no crashes. And then let me start one more time, but with Task Manager open. So with Task Manager, we can see that Godot is using 1.6 gigs. Then I open up the cores menu and I load the core images. And we're still at 1.6 gigs somehow. Interesting. Why is Abel so low? Yeah, you're right. He's a little low in this here, isn't he? Let me... I can actually maybe change that real quick. Actually, I don't have it open. It would become a mess. My tabs are already a mess. Did I beat him up off screen? Maybe he needed that. I would never admit to that on tape though. All right, so we got this here. I need to change. I actually need to change the block time thing. One more time. So I want this block of code to run either if this runs or if this condition is met. So I'm just going to do a temporary variable, so var super blocked. Yeah. Actually, we can't declare the variable there. You can't declare a variable in an if statement because if that if statement doesn't run, then the variable isn't going to be declared. Okay. So I changed it, so if you super block, it will always block. That is something I need to apply because there is a minor problem with a core that I need to implement right now. So when we apply this damage buff, we're going to do 1 plus, and then we're going to do it's not under, it is global save data, but I don't have the copy there, but it's going to be like global save data of target dot, no, that's not right. Global save data dot equipped cores of target by inventory dot, and it's the newest one. It's like I didn't save it, so I need to save it so that the enum will pop up as an option. Saved. It's unhappy about that. That's fine. Is it not called that? It's not called energy siphon. That's a different thing, I think. Oh, I didn't add it. That's why. Energy shield lens ID. We're going to save that so that it applies. So IntelliSense knows that that exists. And then we can use energy shield lens ID like that. And then close that times 2. Yes, I think that seems right. Yep, so if you have energy shield lens, then super blocks will, for each one that you have equipped, super blocks will grant +2 defense, which sounds like a lot, but I don't think you'll be able to find a lot of those. I think you might be able to find like 3 in the entire game. No, probably not even that. I might limit it so that you can't find more than 1. It might be a unique one. Anyway, sorry, I'm fighting the blanket. It's not wanting to... It's not working, not playing nice with my desk chair. Okay. But the downside to Energy Shield Lens is that it bans you from doing normal blocks. You only get super blocks. So, let's find another section where we do block time. So block time equals this, except it is multiplied by actually, let me think on this one again. Yeah, no. I don't think I can do it in a clean single line. Well, it's probably possible, but I don't want to do it that way. We're just going to do if this thing is greater than 0. So if at least one of these is equipped, actually, so if no energy shield lenses are equipped, then we can add to block time. What are you upset about here? Oh yeah, that. Target not declared in current scope, that's fine, we'll just use I instead. Okay. There we go. If energy shield lens is equipped, no normal blocks are allowed. Are you the only one here? I think so. I think it might be kind of a weird time to stream. That's probably why it's a little quiet, but it might pick up later. We'll see. We'll see. I gotta step over to my checklist again in another tab. This one. And I need to mark energy shield lens as done. 10% dodge chance. Fake Robit fans, that's true. They will be ousted. They will be found. Let's see, disables basic attacks, but blah blah blah. That's not allowed. We can't do that yet. Ability. And these are buffs. Yeah, we need to add the emergency reserve cores. So let me go to my inventory again and add those. So this is core prototype.gd. This is core underscore prototype.gd. I don't think we use that anymore. I think that was a mistake. So I think something that would be wise is I have a lot of these useless scripts because I did not realize that method overriding was a thing in Godot. So we're going to have these functions here. And then for these guys, we're going to just delete their scripts. No, I'm not going to delete their scripts. I'm going to leave them as is just to not break anything. Let me look. Let me look. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of scripts that could break things. I will just leave this stuff as is, as to not break anything. But in my future ones, I will not be extending the script unless I need a unique equip or unequip function. And some of these do necessitate unique equip and unequip functions, like offensive power amplifier, for example. It affects their base stats, so I need a unique equip and unequip function. But for a lot of these, it's just like a variable that's stored in global save data. Do robots have mouths? That is a good question. Some, very few. Most do not. I can actually pull that up. I can pull up your answer. Let's see. No, yes, no, 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 yes, no, 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 yes, 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 no, 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 yes, no, sorta, no, 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 yes, yes, no, 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 yes, yes. So very few. I think maybe a quarter of them have mouths. Is a rarer quality. Most of those are screen displays, yeah. Yeah, very few have like real mouths. I think let me look again. Abel, Valerie, and Alice have mouths. I think and Eris. Um, yeah, those are all the characters that have actual mouths. So, less than 10%. Oh, and Vector. So, a little over 10%, actually. I gotta pull up my data sheet again. And I gotta add some new things. So we've got core prototype.scene, this guy right here, and so we're gonna make, I'm actually gonna double dip, I'm gonna do two at once. I don't have the visual designs done for these, but I've got these other things in there, so this one's going to be called Error now. Is that how you spell offense? What is the difference? Two spellings of the same noun. Oh man. Well, I want to do English. Real English, American English. In American English, we use an S. This is America. Okay. It can be localized later, but that's somebody else's problem. Howdy, V on a screen. How's it going? Sammy, right? Let's see, emergency offense reserve is what we're calling that. Yep. Core image, I can leave that blank. I can do that. And then we can just copy the data here. So base attack, ATK plus 1. Only active when less than 20% max HP. Yep. Yeah, I decided to stream earlier today, which is usually a more dead hour, but it's working out. It's kind of just a cozy Sunday in. Okay, so we got these here. Increases the robot's defense by 1 when they're in port repair. And then we're going to do the same thing here. So def plus 1, only active when less than 20 max HP. Yep, we should add a period there for grammar's sake, I suppose. And then I need to set its name. Okay, its name has been set. So now I need to set the other stats. Cost of 1, risk category balanced, any equipee, cost of 1, balanced risk, any equipee, and those should be ready to go. I think that's all I got to do. So now I need to add them to the master enumeration. So we're going to call this okay, so we've added these to the master enumeration, which, you know, this is kind of icky code, but it makes things better later on, so it's fine. The process is banging your head against a wall until you are completely lost, and then you do a I don't know, some kind of like wizard summoning circle and hope that somebody, and by that I mean, I don't know, go into Stack Overflow or something, and then read or go to the, sorry, this joke is kind of failing because I'm only sort of half focusing here. So I just added the emergency offense and defense reserves, and so when these run their calculations, we need to add the enemy section here. Enemy section. Ooh. I should probably add an attacker field, shouldn't I? That makes sense. I think I need an attacker. Yeah, we'll need an attacker field. Unused parameter. That's fine. Whatever. Because I think it's important to know who is doing the attack for the sake of these calculations. So if we are currently playing as if an enemy is targeted, then we're just going to add a let's see, if so we can't do attacker.hp. We'll have to do global save data of attacker. So that's gonna, or no, it's not global save data of attacker. It's also that's spelled wrong. So global save data dot HP of attacker is less than global save data dot HP of attacker, except it's going to be max HP. Yep, max HP times 0.2. Put some parentheses around there for good measure, just in case. We're not going to have this pass statement. No need for that. And then damage plus equals, and we're going to do global save data of dot equipped cores of attacker dot that's going to be, or no, it's not dot, it's a two-dimensional array. So we're going to get the second row, which is going to be inventory dot what was the name of the core that we were looking at? Emergency offense reserve. Okay. Yep. And then we're just going to do times 1 just to make it clear. Alright, so what this line of code is going to do is if you have it's basically like the Danger Mario badge. I have not heard about the Stack Overflow situation. Actually, no, I have heard about that. Yeah, so Stack Overflow is using the responses to train an AI, and people are deleting their answers and basically making the platform worse for everyone. Like, if you're going there for an answer, then you're just not going to find your answer, and if you're trying to train an AI, then AI isn't going to learn. So people are being petty and deleting their answers, and they're getting banned because what they're doing is exclusively making the platform worse. I don't know. I as much as I dislike the platform Stack Overflow, I have to side with Stack Overflow on this issue because it's a help forum and people are going out of their way to make it not helpful. And I think that would warrant a ban on a help forum. But that's just me. So we're going to do something similar above. So if global save data, actually we're going to just copy this exact same line of code here. And then we're going to do this exact same line of code, except damage is reduced by the number of emergency defense reserve cores. Okay, I think that checks out. Yes, I do use LMMS. I'm a big fan of it. LMS is a very useful tool for composing. So I think this is all I need to fully implement these. So if your health is less than 20%, I should do less than or equal to 20%. Just in case, like you have 2 HP out of 10, I think it should still proc in that situation, or 1 out of 5. So it will, let me think here. So it's always going to proc if your health is less than or equal to 20%. When that happens, so if we're attacking an enemy, then the damage gets increased by the number of these equipped. If we are being attacked and we're at low health and we have the defensive version, then the damage being dealt is decreased by 1 per thing. So yeah, that makes sense. And then should also apply absolute defense as well. So then yeah, okay. No, we're just gonna call this damage, right? I've made some mistakes here. So we're gonna change this. So real damage we're gonna have a little lower. And then we're gonna get rid of this whole max statement there. And we're gonna change this to damage. Okay. Okay, so all of this stuff up here is going to tick the damage dealt down until you get to the bottom, where if it's below 0, then the real damage will actually be set to a proper amount. Then we apply the damage, and then, yep, we do this. Ooh, I should actually... Zero. Actually, no. My phone's going dark again. And then we get this right here. Okay, so then when damage is dealt, I cannot use a capital M, it's fine. So when damage is dealt, we're going to set the player's HP to 0, or their HP minus the damage dealt, whichever is higher. So HP should never be negative. So I think that checks out. So now I can tick out a couple checkboxes and move on to other things I need to implement. Let's see, that's an ability. Can't do those. What is this? Oh, yeah. Yeah. These... I'll have to think further on these. Sorry, I have another monitor open that I'm kind of looking at my other things I need to implement, because my elemental system is a little bit different now from when I made this. I think I'm thinking about how I do this. I think I still do want to have like base types, and those base types apply multipliers. Yeah, I would want that. So let me go ahead and implement those types then. It's going to be a simple node, I guess. No, I can make a script. I can actually make a script. Yeah, so I'm going to go to my battle folder. You can find it. Yep, battle. And then we're going to create new script. And we're going to call this materials, I guess. I'll just call it materials. No. Elemental materials. Imagine streaming at 3 p.m. Joke's on you, Van. It's 2 p.m. What's going on, man? So I just added it, and it's gone forever. Cool. This is not going to have anything fancy. Hardly working or hard at work? That's a good question. Yes. 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 Yeah. Yep, I would say yes to that. So we're going to have the element types. I've got a spreadsheet for this somewhere around here. This one's actually very rough, though. Yeah, I only have 3 physical types right now, but we're just gonna... I don't know how to spell metallic, if it's 1 or 2, so I'm just gonna say metal. We're just gonna have these 3 basic types for now. We can change it later, and then we can do var resistances equals, and then so this is going to be an array, but it's actually going to be 3 arrays in an array because each of these needs an array. And then we actually have we only have 4 elemental types here. Actually, I need to go back to my battle manager, and I need to copy paste my elemental types because I forgot. Or maybe not. Where did I have these? Was this under calculate damage that I had these? I've got the color for the elements. The element enum. Where is the element enum? Where did I put that? Did I never make an element enum? It feels like that's something I would have made. Is in like global save data for some reason? No. That is so odd. Why would I do that? Also, I don't like this. This is wrong. Yeah, this is bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We actually want it to look like this instead. I'm glad I caught that. As a rule of thumb, whenever I have 2-dimensional arrays that involve the characters, well, actually, hang on. Oh my. No, I did have it right. I had it reversed in my battle manager code. Sorry, I've made mistakes. Blackjack, but with health going down. Yeah, so I've actually made all of these backwards. So I need to fix those. So I've these 7 are wrong, so I need to fix these 7. So I need to actually reference the core first, and then the character. That's what I did wrong. I was checking row then column instead of column then row. Very shameful. So I think I should fix it. Although I should probably double check in another section of my code just to make sure, to make 100% sure that I'm not making this even worse. So let me pull up my pause menu code because I know that I have it correct there. Inventory? No. It's somewhere in here. Audio, battle, camera, characters, environment, interaction, inventory, levels, save data, UI. It's under UI. And then I can find it. It's supposed to be in here, isn't it? I've got main pause screen. Pause menu. Here we go. Pause menu. And then we go to the chorus page. Yes. Yes. So we look at the core index first, and then we do the character index second. That's how we do it. And it appears that that's how we do it with everything. So I don't know why I had that backwards. But we're back on the beaten path again. The only problem is I apparently never made a an element enum. I thought I would have made that somewhere, but yeah, I don't see where else I could have put it. Inventory maybe? No. Yeah, okay. Okay, strange. But yeah, I will have to make a new enum. So yeah, so the enum is going to be, let's see here, because I have to. Yeah, I did columns before rows or rows before columns. You see, the thing is, it's arbitrary the way that you represent it. Well, actually, I suppose it's not arbitrary if you're representing text, but it's not text, so it is arbitrary. Anyway, yeah, I got my rows and columns mixed up. That's what I had to fix. So anyway, I'm trying to think about what these colors are. So that's lots of R and a good bit of G, so that's probably physical. Physical element ID. This one's red, so that's going to be thermal element ID. That one's green, so that's chemical element ID. What is this one? This is some R, a little bit of red, and a lot of blue, so that's going to be electric. And this last one is all blue, so that's going to be magnetic. Yeah, for some reason I didn't have these. Anyway, so I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to go back to my battle folder, because I just added elemental materials. So we've got the enumeration for all of the element types, and then we have this resistances array. Yeah, that checks out. That checks out. So then I've got some data somewhere around here. Well, let's start by doing that. Populating the this little table here that I'm writing by hand, which is not the best way to do it, but it is what it is. We can use tabs to make this easier on the eyes. Yep. Yeah, this is fine. And then we're just going to add some comments along the way. So that's just going to be metal, plastic, hard light. Yep. Okay. So then I've got some data somewhere around here for that on my spreadsheet. Wrong spreadsheet. Got a lot of spreadsheets. So let's see. Physical. So thermal is going to be 1.5. I'm just sort of reading off some data here. 0.5, 1.5. Let's see. Or no. This one's going to be 1. And then... Whoops. 1.5, 1.5, 1.5. Yes, that makes sense. Then plastic is going to be strong against chemic and electric, so these two. And then, actually, I'm gonna change that. Sorry, my spreadsheet is a mess, I tell you. So then we have plastic, which is going to be, so against physical, it is weak. No, it's standard. It's standard against physical. And then thermal, it is weak to that. And then lastly, this last guy, or no, hang on. There's magnetic as well. I suppose it would be immune. Yeah, it would be immune. Okay. The last one is going to be immune to physical, and then thermal is going to be strong against, so it's going to be 0.5. Next one, chemical, it's going to be neutral against that. Electric, it is going to be weak to that, and magnetic is going to be weak to that. Okay. These are just like some basic elemental resistance tables that I kind of schizoed on for a second there. The idea is we can multiply the damages by these values, if that makes sense. I feel like, man, maybe multiplying by 1.5 and 0.5 is a lot for a game that focuses on smaller numbers, though. That might be too extreme. Yeah, that could be too extreme, but I actually, yeah, I actually think I'm not going to use these elemental materials. I think we're going to manually apply these resistances to enemies, which is a little more work, but it gives me a lot more control over it. I think doing it this way is a bad idea. I can always add, like factions to enemies to modify the damages later on, but yeah, this is too much. I'm just going to delete this. Bad call on my part. So we're not going to codify elemental resistances quite yet, because yeah, I think that would be dumb. I think that would be too much work. Yeah, so where was I? So back to the spreadsheet, back to looking at the data. So all of these cannot be implemented until a bit later. So I believe I have implemented all of the cores that can be immediately implemented. I think that's... I can still implement this one. I think nano machines can still be implemented. Yeah, I can still implement this one. Yeah, I'll look into implementing that one. So that would apply at the end of every turn. So I need to find the run turn logic here, or no, apply status effects. So in this apply buffs and debuffs here, we're just going to do, let me think, global save data dot HP of, and that's going to be I in our case. Wait a minute, what is this? What is this for loop here? Okay, yeah, we can't actually apply this here. This will have to be applied in this function instead. So global save data dot HP of I plus equals global save data of HP regen of I. That seems pretty straightforward, except it's not, because we need to use, okay, first we need to do a for loop. There we go. So we're going to run through all of the characters. I'm gonna merge these into the same one because that seems good enough to me. Okay. Except we can't do plus equals, so we're gonna do equals min between global save data dot max HP of I and okay. So now we have HP regen applied. So every time that the battle runs around and starts its whole thing again, we're going to set every player's HP to either their max HP or their current HP plus their regen, whichever is smaller. In fact, I need to add an animation for that. Yeah. I'll need to add an animation for that. In fact, why don't we do that now? Why don't we do that now? Yeah, we should do that. We should do that. So firstly, to make an animation, we need to make a new file. It's going to be 1024 by 1024 pixels because that is the standard resolution of a texture. We're going to delete everything. And then we are going to have a little plus sign here. Doesn't need to be anything fancy at all, just something that looks good enough. So let me find... Ooh, do they not have a built-in plus sign? 1984. It's over. StopBot got a name? He's got a terrible name. It's Signant. Can I make this one work for my purposes? I think that's too thin. Synant? I don't know what you're trying to tell me. He's an ant? No. Nuh-uh. I guess we're gonna just start by making a square, and then we're gonna take this square and do it wrong, because that's always an important step. So if I can sort of use this to find the center point here. Yep. Okay, so that's 1/4 of the screen, and then I just need to do that again to sort of find the limits of the plus sign. I feel like there's a much better way to do this, and it doesn't come to mind. I could actually count the pixels like a normal person, actually. Let me just do that. This is a dumb way to do it. We're not doing it this way. I'm going to use an eye-catching color. We're going to go to pixel 512 here, which is this guy. That's 512. And then we need to paint his neighbor as well. One here. One here. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Stop it. We have technology. So we're going to go to pixel 128. No, it's 256 that I want, actually. I don't know why. I'm really, really awful about needing things to be pixel perfect. And then this is going to be 512 plus 256, which is going to be 778. Was that right? $768. I can't count. So then 768 and its neighbor. 1 pixel. The problem is if I don't make this pixel perfect, somebody's going to notice. Also, I think this is not going to have the proportions that I want, and I think it's actually going to make me not happy with what I see. So I can do it this way. Get rid of any stray pixels that I put on the corners. Okay. Yeah, I'm not happy with what I made. Why would I do it this way? Yeah, there's just like a way better way to do this that isn't dumb. And I'm going to do it that way instead. So let's say I want it 300 pixels wide, 400. We're going to center it roughly centered, okay? Copy paste it, rotate it. It's a couple pixels off, whatever. I'm just going to leave it as is. Is this... Why is this not? Is this not using nearest neighbor? It should be lined up. Yep, that's lined up. Okay, and we're going to make this white so we can modulate it. Sure. Then I can file, save as, recovery.png. Sure. All right. Now we need to go to, well, I had it somewhere. I might have put this away. So we need to go to the damage indicator, and we're actually going to make a copy of it. So duplicate it, and we're going to call it a healing indicator instead. Healing indicator.scene. And then we're going to copy the damage indicator text as well. So duplicate, we're going to call it healing indicator. Duplicate, cool. And then we need to remove the script here. So detach script, and we're going to reattach the newly renamed script. We're going to rename this node to healing indicator. Then we're not going to need this elements lookup, and we're not going to need this enumeration, I don't think. Is it invisible? Where are you? Here you are. Okay. We're going to replace the damage splash texture. So we're going to, I'm going to pull this aside so I can grab the correct one. 2D art, textures. No, I didn't save it to textures. I think it saved it to mockups. Yep. Recovery. Yep, that's the one. So recovery.png, and then we're going to use that instead. And this one here. Okay. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Yep, and we can use the same label. We'll be using the same label. That's fine by me as well. You can save that. Not like that. Not like that. So we can go to the script. We're just going to set the modulate to So instead of element and damage, it's going to be character and healing. And then we're going to have a character lookup. We can actually steal the enum, or not the enum, but the lookup table for the colors from here, I believe. Nope, maybe from option wheel. Yep, color lookup. So we're going to steal that color lookup as before. And then we're back to the healing indicator here. So instead of these elements lookup colors, we're going to do color lookup colors. We're not going to need that enumeration. Assets can stay the same. So we're going to be setting modulate to color lookup of target. That makes sense. Yep. And then label add theme color override font outline color, and that's going to be the same variable here, but darkened by a bit. So now what this should do is whenever we apply a healing effect to a character, it's going to show these two plus signs. They're going to be spinning. There's going to be a number, and it's going to have an outline, which you can't see here, but it will have an outline. And it will match the color of the character that is being healed. So I have a lot of errors now for some reason. I don't see why it's upset. Oh, I see why. Yeah, it's supposed to be element and damage. Did I click on the wrong one? Target damage. Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. 99 bugs in the code moment. Take one down, pass it around. That's true. I think it's fine now. I think it's fine. So now I go to Battle Manager. And then I'm going to put this next to my calculate damage function because it's going to have some pretty similar use if I can find it. Battle Manager. So yeah, it's going to be next to my calculate damage, but it's going to be func apply healing. And then it's going to be target damage. And then I suppose we will have to differentiate an ally from an enemy. And then once we do that, yep, we'll have to add is ally. Okay, and then indicator.location equals blah blah blah. So I'll steal all of this code here. So var player position equals all this nonsense. We're going to have var indicator location, and then after that we're going to do something very, very similar to this. We're actually going to continue to use the damage indicators. Going to continue to use the damage indicators array for this, just for the sake of keeping things simple. Except we are not going to be loading damage indicator.scene. We're going to be loading the healing indicator.scene. So let me remove that and replace it with the correct indicator. So we're going to instantiate that. We're going to add it to the scene tree. Yeah. And then we're going to run indicator, and that's going to be target. And then we're not going to use real damage, we're just going to use damage. And that should be happy with that. Okay, so if I save it, and then I run it in my ready function, so I do like apply healing, we're going to put it on Katie, is ally is going to be true, and then we're going to heal by 5. Oh, right, I got to actually change her health as well. Wonder what the healing items will be. That's a good question. I've got some. I've not drawn very many of them, though. They'll take a long time. Okay, so now we're going to be fixing their HP to either their max HP or their current health plus whatever's being healed, whichever is lower. Yep, that checks out. I think this is ready to test, so let me test it. It crashed, cool. Could not resolve superclass name core prototypes core prototype.gd, and this is on. I know you should. Oh no! How much did I fuck up? I might have made a big mistake. Okay, no, I didn't make a big mistake. I just made a I made a small oopsie. I made a small oopsie here. Okay, and now I run it. Okay, small oopsie result. However, big poopsie. Small oopsie, big poopsie. Because it did not actually run the apply healing. So does it run this line of code? It does run that line of code. Okay. So then... Oh, I see why. I put this all in the else statement, and that's dumb, because it's not going to do anything in the else statement. It belongs there. So now if I retry... Yep, that's what the healing indicator is going to look like. That's a little on the big side. I think it's a little too big style. But that's what it's going to approximately look like. I'm going to reduce the size of the splash. So if I go to not visibility, process, material, it's transform. That's it. Scale. I don't know, I'm gonna try 0.1. That's too small. 0.1 is way too small. Can I do 0.12? 1.3? Ooh, what if I made them different? That would be cool. Transform. Yeah, what if I made them different? Would that look more visually interesting? That's kind of cool. I think that's kind of cool. Red alert. I think we found something cool. The Subway Surfers at the bottom of the stream? Man, I need to add Subway Surfers to my stream so that it's more interesting. I need to add AI generated Reddit voiceover as well. I need to change the healing indicator just a little bit more. I think we could do 1.2 and 1.3. Or 0.12. Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, I think the indicator looks better if one of them is a little smaller than the other. So we're going to do the same one with this. Instead of being that big 0.164, we're going to do 0.14. Yeah. Yeah, I think that'll look cooler. So if I go to the battle manager, and I go to the script side, and then we run... calculate damage. I'm going to do element 0, damage 5 is ally true. Is that all you need? I feel like you need more. Targets an attacker. Okay, we're going to put that on Sarge, I guess. An attacker, I guess I'll leave a 0 because we don't really do anything with attacker, do we? Yeah, I don't think we do. Not yet. That's not right. That's not right at all. Oh, my debugger is screaming at me. Can't add child healing indicator to battle manager. Already has parent battle manager. What? I don't understand. Manage the battle manager. Very true. I actually don't know what this means here. Are these running asynchronously? They shouldn't be. Dot instantiate. Oh. Oh, I see. I think I need to add child 0. So instead of adding the last one, I need to add the first one, because I'm pushing to the front, I guess. So if I rerun it... Yep, that's it. Except that one did not actually go to the correct position. So I gotta figure out what's up with that. Calculate damage. Element damage is ally, target, attacker. So element is element 0, that's fine. Damage is 5. Here, let me rerun that. Yeah, so I see the 5 heal icon. Here, let's make it 2, just to make it different. Yeah, why is it doing that with the heal icon? I'm confused now. Calculate damage should do all this stuff. Yeah, I'm honestly lost. I'm not exactly sure why this is happening. Let me think on this. So if I change the element, does it actually change the color? Yep. Yeah, so my calculate damage is it's spawning the healing indicator. Let me make sure that I'm using push front correctly. It should go to array index 0, I think. Push front should do... adds an element at the beginning of an array. Yeah, so it should be 0. Should be 0. So damage indicators of 0. I need to take a look at that. Assets null, assets array size of something. Constant path orphan. Okay, that's fine. Root battle manager healing indicator, that's fine. So we're trying to add child, which is node 0, yep. Oh, it's because, yeah, okay. I'm still accessing the wrong thing here. Yep, that's just me being a goober. A goofy goober, even. And I'm a crashing goober. Oh wait, no, that's a breakpoint. Never mind. That's not a crash. That's intentional. Okay, we've got the damage indicators, and they appear to be working relatively correctly. That okay, I gotta say, just by making the counter spinning damage indicator slightly smaller than the main one, it looks so much better. It looks way cooler because it's like they're like spinning inside of each other. That looks awesome. That looks kind of sick. Um, the way that these work is they don't go away ever. Sort of. Yeah, I think I need to figure out how I want the damage indicators to like fade in and fade out because right now they just kind of they show up and they stay there forever and ever and ever and ever for all eternity. So I will need to think on that. But yeah, these should be decently robust now. Like I can change the element type on that one, and I can change that to heal able instead. In fact, let's give him a healing item that heals 15. That's a lot. Very scary. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Yep. Indubitably. So like a full heal item on Sarge would give an indicator that looks something like that, but he's also taking damage, so they're kind of like stacking on top of each other and making a monstrosity. That's also kind of fun. Let me make this target able. I think, no, that's the amount of damage. Change the target to able. Refresh. Yeah. Yeah, I think those indicators look kind of cool. I think they're kind of spiffy. I'm having a moment. I'm having a moment. Call the bondulance. So yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright, next up, I need to connect my run battle logic. Yep. So instead we're going to do, what did I just call that? Apply healing. So we're going to apply healing. So the target is going to be I. We're going to apply it to everyone. And then the amount of health being added, right? Is that what the next one is? No, is ally. So this is going to be true. And the damage, which is going to be global save data of HP regen of that character. Yep. And so now we have the animation in place. We do need to add one more condition to apply healing here. And we're going to say if damage is less than or let's just say if damage equals 0, return. So if you try to heal someone, but the amount that you're actually healing by is 0, then it's just not going to show up or do anything, because of course there's no healing being done. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Now I'm going to actually step away for 2 minutes to go potty, so I will be right back. And we are back. Apologies for the pause. Had to step away. Okie dokie. Let's see what we're looking at now. So we just added the indicators. We should probably have like a fade in, fade out system for these indicators. Yeah, I'm thinking about how I could go about that. Is there a way to remove yourself from the scene tree? Let me look that up, because that would be handy. That would be a nice feature. Is it queue free? It's just free. He is free. That's how you do it, apparently. I think I've used this somewhere before. I think in my scene swapper. So it'd be under levels, I think. Yep, scene swapper. Yes. Okay. Yep, it's just free. He's free. So maybe I shouldn't save the damage indicators. Maybe I should make them pop in and pop out on their own. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. Not sure at all. I suppose that's something I could worry about a little bit later. Yeah, I think I can worry about that later. The question is, what's next? We've got 200 lines of bloat. That's cool. What do we do with that now? I think options wheel. We should do this. Yeah, we should probably do this. I need to actually update the options wheel because it's not exactly what I want it to be. So I need to do a lot of work with this actually. Let me think about this. Because right now, the option wheel has 12 options, and it will always have 12 options. And that is not good. It's not good. So I need to think about how I can sort of rotate this and put all these where they belong. I've got an idea. Okay, so we need a variable for options length. We can start that at 12 because that's what we had before. So when we activate the options wheel, it's actually going to be between 0 and options length. So for this one, we had between 3 and 10. So we can do options length over 4 and options length over 4 times 3 plus 1. I need to make that an integer. I don't know if it likes that or not. We'll find out. So then, again, this one's in range 0 to 12. So we're going to do in range 0 to options length. Here, so if I is less than I is greater than options length over 4 times 3. And that needs to be capital O, capital L, yep. Okay. That's fine. So then instead of mod 12, it needs to be mod something options, right? Mod options length. Instead of plus 3, it's going to be options length over 4. Instead of plus 10, it's going to be options length over 4 times 3 plus 1. Yep. Ooh, it's not happy about that. It's because it added an extra parenthesis for some reason. Okay, and then for this one, it's going to be, instead of 2, we're going to do options length over 3 minus 1. Okay, instead of 9, we're going to do, well, that can't be over 3, it has to be over 4. We're going to do over 4 times 3. Okay, that looks legit to me. Now I need to think about anywhere else that I use 12. Yeah, so we can't do 360 over 12. We have to do 360 over options length. Same goes here. 360 over options length. And then move timers 15, blah, blah, blah. Yep, we're going to be a fixed 15 frames, so it's going to spin faster if there's more options, slower if there's less options. Other way around. I said that wrong. Mod options length. Okay, so do I say the number 12 anywhere ever again? I do say it here. I say it here. Okay, so we don't have that fixed size 12 anymore. Now we need to change how we activate the options wheel because it can't be this way anymore. So label 0. What is label 0? It's transform. Where's transform? Transform. We're looking at Z positive. So var init vector equals vector 3 Z positive. Okay? So then when we initialize this, we're going to do labels of I dot set global position, and then that global position is going to be or no, it's not global position, it's just dot position, I think. Yeah. So init vector dot rotated, and we're going to rotate it along the x-axis. So along the x-axis, and then the angle is going to be I times, hang on, what is angle actually? Is that in radians? It's probably in radians. So it's going to be degrees to radians, and so this is going to be 360.0 divided by options length. I save that, I run this. Wrong thing to run. Right, I don't allow myself to access that because of the way that I have this set up. So I'm just going to have the options wheel, I'm going to give a camera to the options wheel. Wait a minute, this whole thing rotates though, doesn't it? No, only the spinner does. So if I run this scene now, okay. Okay, fine. We'll do it the other way. We'll do it the other way. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Script. We're gonna change it so that we can always touch the action wheel. So we're gonna do await player action. No, await input logic. Okay, so that didn't quite work because everything got set to the same position. That was in the option wheel. So we're setting their position to init vector rotated. Yep. Oh, instead of 360 over options length, it should be 360 times some nerd stuff. Hang on. It's I over options length. So if I save you and I run you now, wrong scene, I run you now. Oh, it was a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for hanging out. Okay, that's still not right. I'm thinking, because this should be putting them at different spots. I over options length, degrees to radian, yep. Init vector dot rotated on the x-axis. This search feature is not working correctly. Not whole words, that's probably why. Okay. Can I do rotate X? I don't know if that's a valid function call. I'll try. Nope. Can I do this? Wrong function. Or wrong scene again. Wrong scene again. It's this one. Nope, that crashes. Nope, wrong scene again. I'm struggling. Yeah, so it puts them all on the same spot for some reason. I don't understand why, though. So temp location equals this. Okay. Fine, I'll make it lowercase, whatever. I'll make it all lowercase, fine. Battle Manager, run this. Okay, so it still works incorrectly, so now I'm going to apply a breakpoint here, and I'm going to find out what's actually going on and why it's putting everything on the same spot. Okay, so we're at temp location, and temp location is that z equals 1. It's still z equals 1. Okay, so it's not rotating the vector at all. Why is it not rotating the vector? What if I did that instead? Yeah, I don't understand that. Let me look at the documentation for a second, because that doesn't make sense to me. Can I do that instead? Yeah, Let's see. Rotated rotates a vector by the amount it's given as a parameter. You'll get the vector -1, since you've rotated the vector by 180 degrees. Yeah. What about a 3D? Let's see here. Nope, that is not at all what I want. 3D transformations on the Godot dock. Let's see. Transform.basis.rotated axis rotation map. Yeah, well, I think so. Rotated along the x-axis, and this is the amount. What if I did like a huge number? Would it put them in a different spot? I mean, surely it would put them in a different spot. It's just that they would all still be in the same spot, though. Remove the breakpoint. Yep. Yep. If I did something like that. Yeah, it puts them all in the same spot. Even though I over... There's got to be a way to... It does set their location. It's just degrees to radian, 360 times I over options length times 10. So I over options length, that's... Ooh. Oh, wait. Can I do float of I over options length? Does that fix it? Yep, that's what was wrong. Yeah, so I was doing integer division, and with integer division, it rounds all the numbers down to the nearest whole number, and that was breaking everything. Everything was showing up in the same spot because all of the values were supposed to be ratios, and a ratio just becomes 0 if you're using integers. Very cool. So if I run it now, the option wheel appears exactly as expected. Now here's the scary part, the moment of truth, where we set the options length down to like 5 and see what happens. See if it breaks everything or not. Yep, that breaks everything. Yep, okay. So we need to do another for loop here. For I in range options length 12. We can do labels of I dot modulate dot A equals 0. So that should hide them. Welcome back, lemon bread. Okay, so this is not exactly what I wanted. The whole fading in and out is just not working as expected. Here, let me try with a more familiar number like 6. Yeah, so the center of brightness is on top. So if I set it to like 10 and I run it again, no. This is even stranger. Okay. Because if I set it to 12, I know that it will work exactly as expected. Yeah, so 12 is a stable number. We love the number 12. Is 1 a stable number? Okay, so 1 is going to hide it. I need to think a little harder on how I do this then. If I set it to 2, I believe it will also hide everything. It hides the one that's in front. Interesting. I need to do some more testing then. So if I do 8, will it play nice with 8? I think it might play nice with multiples of 4. It does not play nice with 8 at all. There's got to be some kind of offset that I am messing with whenever I change this around. If I make it 4. 4 actually works almost perfectly. But I would want to show the side ones. Yeah, let me think about this. This is a little bit more difficult than a lot of the other stuff that I've been working on. A challenge. So it's somewhere where I'm messing with the modulate, of course. And there's 23 places where I could have it wrong. Okay. We know that the first few references to it are good. Let me think on this one. I don't think I need this int wrapper here. That's just extra. And we actually, we obey the order of operations here, so that should be fine. Over 4 times 3 plus 1. Over 4 times 3 plus 1. Over 4 minus 1. Over 4 times 3. That's... Run it again. Yeah, that's fine. Try 6. I think I might understand. But that doesn't explain why 8 doesn't work. Yeah, I don't understand why 8 doesn't play nice. If it was like a multiple of 4's issue, then, you know, I would understand why 8 doesn't play nice with the others. Or then I would understand why 4, 12, and 8 play nice, but 8 doesn't play nice. Here. I've got an idea. I've got an idea. Front of visible and back of visible. We're gonna use useful labels to make the problem a little bit easier. Front of visible is going to equal oh yeah, we don't need temp location anymore. So we can get rid of that. Okay. So front of visible is going to be that 3/4. This is another 3/4. There's another 3/4, so there's going to be front of visible. Okay, and then back of visible is going to be the over 4 part. I copied the wrong thing. Back of visible is going to equal that over 4. Option link over 4 is going to be back of visible. And then another back of visible, back of visible. Front of visible is again that 3/4, which I believe we had another. Yep. So if it's less than the back of the invisible and more than the front. Here, let me make sure that I labeled this correctly though. Because I think I might have made things a little more confusing. I might have muddied the waters even further. This is just hiding everything that isn't here. Yeah, that should be fine. Yep. Okay. What if I didn't do this though? What if I defined these differently? What if I called this one 6 and this one 2? How would it react then? It wouldn't react well to 6 and 2. What if it was 8 and 2? How would it react then? Wouldn't react super well. If I made it 8 and 1. That's really interesting. If I make it 8 and 0, everything should be hidden. Yep, okay. If I make it 8 and 8, everything should be visible. Okay, the back one is not visible. What? Something isn't right. So it's hiding the one in the very back. I'm actually very, very confused now. What if I made this based on thirds? What would happen then? Interesting. And then what if I made it 9 and based on thirds? Yeah. If I made it 12, what would happen? Well, it works exactly as expected with 12. There's got to be some kind of holdout. There's got to be some kind of holdout from when I changed over from 12. There's got to be some kind of constant floating around that I've not fixed, because it works exactly as expected on 12. Arrow home is fine. Move timers don't need to change. Selected action +1 mod options length. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. All these are fine. Ah, look at that. Look at that. I missed that. So what's happening is when you're going backwards and the selected option is less than 0, it's being set to 11, even though 11's more than the maximum. So instead of setting that, we're going to do options length -1. And maybe that's the problem. I certainly hope it is. So if I set this to 8, and I set these back to the 3/4 instead of 2/3, and I run it, huzzah! Okay, so it plays well with 8. Let me try with 1. Let me see if it plays nice with 1. It does not play nice with 1. So that will need to change, because I'm certain there will be cases where there are just one option. Does it play nice with 2? It doesn't play nice with 2 either. With 3. It doesn't play nice with 3. With 4. Okay. So it plays well enough with 4. With 5. It has an upwards bias, unfortunately. With 6. Same upwards bias with 6. With 7. Same upwards bias. With 8. Yep, with 8 it's going to display 3. 8 looks very good. With 9. Yep, it still has an upwards bias. So I need to figure out how to make the lower end show up just as often as the higher end. And what I think is happening is we're getting floored. The divisions that we're doing are getting floored, and instead of ceilinged. Well, some of them are getting floored instead of ceilinged. So I think we should be able to. So here, let me try it. Let me think again. Let me think about this a little bit longer before we go too deep off the back end. So back of visible, front of visible +1. So front of visible is going to be the first thing that you see. The lowest number? No. Let me think on this again. Back of visible is going to be the lowest number you see. No, it's going to be the highest number you see. Front of visible is going to be the lowest. Can I just do this? Are you happy with me if I do this? Crash, cool. Okay, it did not like that. The int of the ceiling of that, maybe. Okay, that looks good. If I set it to 5, will it look good? I think it will. I think this was the problem. Yes. It does show it. If I set it to 4, it should show it as well. Yes. If options length, I'm going to say if options length is less than 3, or no, is less than 4, we're going to show everything. So if I set it to 3, it does not show everything because I think I have it wrong. Maybe I do it the other way around. Maybe that causes a crash. Causes some visual issues. That's probably because I've got the showing and hiding stuff. Yeah, this is all in the process function. Yeah. What if I made this like -1? This probably breaks everything, actually. Nope, that somehow doesn't break everything. If I set it to 2, does it break everything? I actually don't want to show all if it's 2. Yeah. If I show all with 2, then the 2 is gonna the front item's gonna be obscured by the back item. So if I run it now, so else if option length equals 2, then we run that. What? Why is this upset? Oh, it's elif, not else if. Yep. That's hiding the back one, so I need to switch these around to be 1 instead. Wrong section, run. So I think I need to add some kind of indicator that shows that you can scroll on this menu, because when there's exactly 2 items, you can only see the front item, and it's only an issue if we're looking at 2, because if we pulled up 4, for example, then it would be fine. If I pull up 4 and then I run, wrong one, and then I run. So like 4, actually, okay, it's an issue for 2 and 4, although I should change 4. I can change 4. I can fix it. Yeah. Yeah, so what I can do, I need to make a special case for, hang on, does 5 work? Does 5 look good? If 5 doesn't look good, then I'll have to make a special case for 4 and 5 as well. We're gonna run. Okay, so 5 doesn't look good. What about 6? Wrong one again. Okay, come on. 6 doesn't look good either, so I need to do one for 4, 5, and 6. And let's see 7. 7 doesn't look good, and then 8 looks good, doesn't it? Yeah, so 8 looks good. So 4, 5, and 6 need their own special case. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we're going to have another elif. Reconnection successful. Okay, cool. I don't know why we had a disconnection there. So I need to change front of visible and back of visible for these small numbers. So we can do, I'm pretty sure, like the exact same thing here, +1, and the exact same thing here, -1, and that should make it look good for, let's try first with 4. Wrong one. Keep doing that. Gotta stop doing that. It's annoying. No, it's not going to show anything. If I try 7, it's probably not going to show anything either. But I need to cover my bases just in case. Yep. Okay, I think I need to do it the other way around then. So instead, this needs to be -1, and this needs to be +1. Save, launch. Wrong one again. Okay. I think I finally got it. So if I set it to 1 and I run it, yep, that works. If I set it to 2 and I run it, wrong one. Yep, that works. If I set it to 3 and I run it, that works. If I set it to 4 and I run it, lovely. And if I set it to 5 and I run it, good stuff. 6. Good. 7. good. I have to try all 12 to make sure this works, because I don't want to come back to this. Yep, that's good. 9. Nine feels a little claustrophobic. Ten feels very claustrophobic. Wrong one. Yeah, I think I know what to do here. Instead we'll do as long as it's less than 12. So now if I rerun it, yeah, that's more like it. And now I have to go back and test everything. Make sure 12 works. Make sure I didn't break that somehow along the way. Yep, 12 works. 12 is very dense though. It's like uncomfy dense. But that's rare. You probably wouldn't find that in the game, because I think most people would not equip badges for abilities that they won't use. So I think that it's unlikely that the action wheel will ever be that dense, but I need to have the option in case there is a madman who actually does just unironically want 12 different abilities for some reason. Did Godot crash? I think Godot crashed. That is, that's concerning. While ally turns remaining of active character is greater than 0. That's probably why. Should be equal to 0. Yeah, that was a spin lock. Spin locks are not fun. Cool beans, cool beans. So there's a little bit more that I need to do with the option wheel. Move timer, no, not in the process. Is it under activating? No. Battle manager, run that. Okie dokie. Yeah, so I think I need to figure out how to make this not so intrusive and like covering the entire right side of the screen. But aside from that, you know, it's a composition issue, not a it's a composition issue and not like an actual major problem that needs to be fixed immediately. So I'm fine with it for now. Okay, So now I need to make the labels dynamic. So instead of activate option wheel active character, it needs to be, I need options as well. So options length is going to be options.size. And then we should have a for loop where we're setting the thingy. Options length 12, modulate a color lookup active character. Init vector blah blah blah. I think it's in this one. Yeah, that's a good one. IntelliSense won't help me with an array, so I'll have to do some manual stuff here. So it's .text, that's what we're looking for. That's going to equal options of I. Cool. So now I need to go to Battle Manager and change what the options are. Test line, please fix later. Hey, check it out. This is a test. Let's go. So yeah, we can do all kinds of nonsense now. Isn't that great? So I think what we're going to have to do soon enough is we're going to have to keep track of abilities for the characters. That's not super fun, but it is what it is. But I think we're 3 hours into the stream. I think this is a good stopping point for now. I think a good bit of stuff has been done, so I'm probably gonna chill out for a bit, and yeah, I will be hanging in the Discord tonight probably. Yeah, I don't see myself doing anything else tonight. So, see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out.